Alright, so this thing is rolling. I'm just gonna put this up just so like, the mic is facing up, but
Right.
I'm not actually gonna use the video. But yeah, if you just wanna spit some facts.
Yeah, take it off the top.
Alright.
What?
So you just gonna wait till
Mhm.
that shop is-
No, don't drink
What's
it.
this
Wait,
shit
do you
say?
want anything from City?
It's just like
let me
a
think.
steam.
Okay, it's
Are you
like
going-
a,
are you
like
going
a
now?
bop it.
No,
You
I'm
know,
gonna
that
go
Kind of,
like,
yeah,
Twist
dude.
it,
Come
smack
back
it,
on my way
bop
out.
it.
You just toss it around.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll let you
Toss
know.
it.
And if you want my yogurt, you can drink it. I'll just get another one.
I'll let you know.
It's free of you.
Huh? Yeah, I know.
Alright, now we rolling. Alright, so Blaise. What have been some of your favorite business classes you have taken?
I would have to say my favorite class that I took so far was Biz Ed 282, and that was stock evaluation and portfolio analysis.
And why did you like that class?
I thought that the professor was really interesting, Charles Schnitzline, and just some of like the content of the class was pretty specific to what I actually wanted to learn.
Was it a hard class? Or?
It was difficult and challenging, but it was fun just because of the way it was taught, and it's mostly new material, but it was kind of taught in like a way where you like wanted to learn it, and it was actually pretty interesting.
Nice. So who are some of your favorite professors and why? Was it their teaching style, their energy, just they're passionate, just?
So yeah, I just said Charles Schnitzline, just because he always had really interesting things to say. He would always start off the class by reading a journal entry in Wall Street Journal. He would just find some current event, and we would talk about it for 5 minutes or so. Another teacher that I'm pretty fond of is Kevin Chang. And I know some people don't like Kevin Chang just due to the way that he teaches, but I found him to be pretty interesting. He's also a pretty funny guy at the same time.
Yeah, I had Chang for 180, and he's a goofy guy. He's funny. He's always talking about. He's like, "Oh yeah, don't email me after 7 because I'm probably gonna have too many beers."
Yeah.
It's like okay. But back on track. So, do you like taking classes with more or less students in them? Business courses.
I would say for business courses, I think it's good to take classes with less students. Just that way everybody can get more involved. And most of the time, we're doing presentations and group projects, so just having a smaller class, you just kind of get to know everybody else, and it just makes it easier to learn.
Yeah, I mean, you're segueing right to the next question. And do you do a lot of group and team projects in the business school? And if so, how's that going?
Yeah, I mean, I think group projects are a pretty big component of most business classes. In my 282 class that I've been talking about, we had to do a group project doing things with financial modeling, so that was pretty interesting, and we just all kind of worked as a group to come up with dividend forecast and growth revenue, stuff like that. So I think projects are pretty good.
So do you think it's easy to connect with the professors at GSB? Are they good communicators, and are they willing to help with more than just class material if you reach out to them?
Yeah, I would say most of the professors are always kind of willing to help you out. A lot of professors kind of have like an open door policy for office hours, so if you ever need any help, you can just drop in and they'll help you with whatever you need.
Do you ever use student services like the office on the first floor or 218 company?
Student services, the only time I use them is when I'm picking courses, but they're always pretty helpful, just telling you kind of what you need to do to stay on track.
So just the business school in general, what are some things you like about it? The people, the professors, the reputation, just the environment within Calkin?
I think one of the things I like most is how I guess you'll take a class with one professor, and you'll most likely end up having that same professor again later. So you just kind of build connections early on, and you always have professors that can help you out in your later courses.
So do you see a lot of available opportunities around the business school? So like when they bring in guest speakers, networking events, professional development, is it a opportunity to like get jobs and internships or something along those
Just
lines?
the business school?
Yeah, do you
overall?
think they, there is opportunity within the business school to have jobs and internships, they do a good job with bringing in people and having networking events.
Yeah, I mean, I think they do as much as they can to bring in people. I'm taking a real estate finance course, and there was a panel put on by the School of Business that was kind of careers in real estate with alumni. And instead of having class, we just attended the panel, which was pretty interesting because it kind of applied to the coursework. So what we talked about in class, we heard some of the speakers talk about, which was pretty interesting.
So speaking of alumni, have you ever contacted an alumni, asking for help with an internship or a potential job? And if so, was it easy to do it, or?
Yeah, so this last summer I actually met up with an alumni. His name was Dennis. He attended UVM, and now he works down in Connecticut. He's the managing director. I forget what the name of the firm was, but I know he used to work at FactSet.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was talking to him, and he was saying, yeah, I'm always willing to reach out to UVM students. I love the school. I do a lot, through the school. And I think it's kind of a great way to network.
So just kind of in general, what are some good experiences you've had in the business school? Maybe a funny memory from class, or there's a speaker who came in and spoke. Maybe a lesson that's really resonated with you.
Favorite thing.
Skip it and come back to it.
Yeah, come back to it.
Sure. Are you in any clubs, like within the business school?
I went to a few accounting club meetings a couple times, but nothing really after that.
Yes, I went to the first 2 accounting club meetings 2 years ago, and I was like, I'm literally just sitting here, not doing anything.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so before you got here, before you were a freshman, what was your first impression of the business school?
I kind of remember Chittenden giving our lecture, I think at orientation.
Mm-hmm.
We all came in, and I just remember the way he talked about the business school, which I guess was a pretty positive thing.
How do you think the Grossman School of Business is seen in the eyes of non-business students, so people in the College of Arts and Sciences and whatever other schools there are here?
I mean, I think everybody thinks business is pretty easy. I mean, anytime you talk to an engineer, I think.
Engineers are just stuck up.
Yeah. But yeah,
No
I
offense if you're an
mean, I don't know. I don't know if people really pay attention as much to the business school, because I think UVM isn't really known for business. It's kind of ag science and that type of stuff.
The medical school.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was thinking about that. I feel like a lot of the other schools within this university are not very fond of the business school.
Well, yeah, but I mean, I think now that it actually has a name to the school.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
Grossman School of Business.
Right.
I think that definitely helps.
Yeah, it's not just UVM,
kind
it's
of
business school.
Just helps distinguish it a little bit more.
Mm-hmm. A couple more questions. Do you feel like there's a sense of community within the business school?
Yeah. I mean, I would say so. I think you kind of get to know a lot of the kids in the business school, and even as a senior, I would say 80% of your class is kids that you took, class with freshman year.
Exactly.
You kind of know everybody.
And I guess one more wrap up. So now that you're in your 4th year, 2nd semester about,